Hey guys, how we doing? I'm Yalik, and we're going to do Dr. T, no endless, no problem, but there's kind of something I want to talk about. We're going to be doing this with one hand behind our back today because I've got a boat going over there, and I don't want to gem it because we have an update coming. If you have heard about this, I've not speculated on it too much because I wasn't really sure. I mean, there was no hype on this at all. There was a real question for quite a while as to whether there was even an update going to happen. We're going to have an update. It's going to be very significant. This is kind of a strange day in Boom Beach. It might be, we should have had the update this morning. It's been held up a little bit, but we should be having an HQ 23 very soon. It's been speculated about for years, and now we're going to get that. We're also going to get a new level of armory. There's going to be a whole bunch of troop upgrades to do. All of your important troop types. Going to be very, very interesting. We're going to get new landing craft, and that's hugely significant for me because I'm the warrior guy. Well, we're going to have, none of these are maxed, but we're going to have landing craft 23 along with HQ 23. LC 23 is going to have 27 slots available, housing slots or whatever you want to call that. And warriors occupy 3 spots on a boat. So when you go up to 27 housing spots on your boat, you add an extra warrior per boat. These boats all at 24 housing spots. You can see on the stern of the boat there. They hold 8 warriors. If you go up to level 26, which is the current maximum, you don't have enough space for another warrior. If you go to 27, you do. So you add 1 more warrior per boat, which is the equivalent of, I mean, you have 8 boats and there's 8 warriors per boat. You're adding the equivalent of an extra boat of warriors to your attack. No other troop type is going to benefit as much from this because riflemen will benefit. Their troop size is 1, so if you add an extra housing spot per boat, riflemen will get 8 more riflemen in a full loadout. But when you already have over 200 riflemen in a loadout, that's kind of a marginal increase. Heavies come in a unit size of 4. If you do the math on that, adding a 27th spot on a boat does not help you because you can't have 3/4 of a heavy. Zookas come in 2s, so you're at 26, you can fit 13 Zookas. 27 only gives you half a Zooka, can't do it, and so on for all troop types. That is the case, except for warriors. Warriors add an extra warrior per boat, and warriors already do a lot of damage. Let's get started on Dr. T. Well, I at least try to set this up a little bit. So, knowing this, people have been reaching out to me over the last week or so as this speculation has built. Because I'm the warrior guy, right? I do this. But I find myself having a lot of reservations, and everyone expects me to be absolutely thrilled. And I'm not absolutely thrilled. And I've been having a hard time explaining why. And I think maybe I have the explanation as to why now. A friend of mine, who is also a warrior fanatic, haven't heard from him in quite a while, reached out to me this morning for the obvious reason. Because there's an update coming and warriors are going to be extremely powerful. All of a sudden, it's going to add quite a bit to the warrior game. That's all great and such, but I was saying to him, trying to explain my position on this, I'm wondering if we have Hyper Barrage right now. So Barrage normally does 14,000 damage, and it's doing over 20. I'm going to see if we can do this. I think we're going to come up a little short on that. So let's see. We're going to drop bullet over here. If we don't have to drop troops, then we don't. I was saying to this friend of mine, and we're going to go have a look at it in a second, I feel like Supercell is trying to address the fact that you don't see warrior play at the top of the game. You don't see it in operations because operations are really designed for Zookas. They're not designed for warriors. Warriors are more of a PvP and daily event kind of troop, and for PvP, you don't see them very much happening amongst those leaderboard players. It's freakish when it does happen. There's one other guy besides me. He's an Italian guy named Zero. And if you look up Boom Beach Zero, you'll see a bunch of videos of him beating these people. And it's really good stuff. So, other than that, it's kind of a freak of nature when anybody beats any of these people with warriors. This is the top of the PvP world, right? But I look at this right now. Global number 1 has 1 shield. That's because we've not had shields in the weapon lab for going on, I think we just got them now, but for 3 weeks we didn't have them. So nobody in the world had shields for at least a week. And I'll be honest with you, that is a super boring state of affairs for me, because all the bases just start to look the same, and that's no fun anymore, knowing that you can beat everybody without, there's no real challenge to it. So, you know, adding in the finesse element of a shield generator where I have to go and handle that, although this is rather a silly time to be bringing that up because we have Hyper Barrage, and with Hyper Barrage, even with this guy's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 health boosted, you can still BART this out pretty easily. If you're full blast with offensive statues, you just BART out the shield generator and proceed as normal. Like, that's too easy, and that's what I'm saying with 3 weeks without shield generators. For most people, it's too easy. And even with the 1 shield generator, I've made this video, it's too easy. Any 1 shield generator base ever is just pretty easily beatable by warriors. I'll be polite and say that I could beat this 9 times out of 10. And I'm not trying to brag because I don't really do that. I've done the video. You can go find it in my warrior playlist. If you've got 1 shield generator, you're on my menu. This is not hard. So I kind of have a problem with the prospect of adding an extra warrior per boat, an extra boat of warriors equivalent, a whole bunch of extra damage to your warrior attacks, when I can beat this base. If I could get this base on my map, I could beat it. Even with this account, maybe I might need that last boat over there, but even with this account, which is a lower level account, can beat that. So you don't see warriors at the top of the leaderboard, but it's not because warriors are imbalanced and weak. They don't get used at the top of the leaderboard, that is true, and there are reasons for that. For that same reason, you don't see... Alright, even Hyper Barrage is not helping us with that. There are reasons you don't see players using Warrior up there. Warriors take... you have to have offensive statues. You have to have a bunch of GBE. 5 will not do it. I've found that to beat that style of base, you really have to have at least 6. You want to have troop health, and that leaves you with 1 damage, or excuse me, 3 damage max. So those statues are not good for leaderboard style players. Nobody has that much GBE, and everybody has some kind of ice. So they can't afford to do this style of attack very often. Because really, against those bases, you need to have no shocks, no critters, nothing. Just stand there. Maybe taunt again, but alright. That's a bad layout. Somebody should tell Dr. T, but don't. And don't tell Supercell I'm saying this, because I feel stupid saying this. I love warriors, right? And I should be very happy that warriors are about to become more of a thing. But I don't... My problem is I don't really want them to become more of a thing just because they are way overpowered and way too easy. That to me seems silly. They actually are a balanced troop type right now. If I can, like I said, go look at those leaderboard guys, and they are beatable by warriors. They're vulnerable to warriors because they don't defend against warriors, because nobody uses warriors, but it's not because warriors suck and are weak. So I feel like Supercell is kind of addressing a non-existent problem by making that change to warriors. Not change to warrior, change to the entire game, but nothing stands to benefit as much as warrior does. But I don't feel like people would be using warrior for the right reasons. If that doesn't sound too elitist, but I don't want people to use warrior just because it's flippin' easy. I want people to use warrior because they're really cool, and when handled properly, can take on absolutely anything. Takes a lot of work. But then again, you know what? So don't ops. People study ops and they learn how to do these insanely technical hits like Callisto or Manticore or you name it. People put a lot of time and effort into studying Zuka as a craft. Basically, it's an art form. And when you're very good at it, yeah, you can go out and get these... take a walk to the top of assembly or the back of complex and smash down a base all on your own, and it's a point of pride for people, and it should be. You know why? Because it's hard. It takes a lot of work. If you make that too easy so that anybody can do it, where's the fun anymore? Alright, this kind of sucks. Well, we got a whole bunch of mines over here, and we're gonna pray a little bit. I think we're good. One mine escaped over in that corner, but the boom mines are dead. We're not going to worry about those guys. We'll just medkit through that. I probably should have checked the range on some things. I didn't, and so we're going to get a little weird here. Oh, that was taunt, and we didn't want to taunt. So that is unfortunate. Let's see, can we do this without losing bullet out of smoke? That would be awesome, and then we don't lose that taunt. Which, I mean, as soon as he comes out of smoke, he is going to do that. I think we're good. Okay. And I think we're going to go like this and like that on the shock launchers. 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8. Probably go like that with a critter to try to keep the shock launchers off us. This is where being down that boat and not having max level stuff is going to hurt us a little bit because the health on these last couple bases is higher. Actually, talking about today's daily event, you know, for at least a portion of this video. Yeah, I don't feel like making warriors super op is an answer to anything. Oh, this is a cool layout. Looks like it might range a little bit. It should range bullet, I think, and that means it would, the shock launcher we're talking about here. If it shoots at bullet, it will shoot centered on bullet, which means it will clip the warriors. So we are going to have to shock that. Mines? Not that many. I think we can get away with very minimal mine clearance here. Don't like those. Don't like mine clusters. That's bad for warriors. I mean, warriors are not used up on the leaderboard. This is true. Nobody does it. It's freakish. It's weird. But it's an inherent part of the game, and it has to do with the statue system and requirements for defending. You can't, as I've said many times, you can defend against RCZM and TMed, but not those and Warrior 2. Because just the way you have to set your base up to defend against RCZM and TMed is inevitably going to leave you vulnerable to warrior attack. And medkit over there, and we should be fine on this. Luckily, just the one shock repeated. You can't really set a base up. You can set a base up so that warriors can't beat it, and I've done this video too. My friend New Student made a warrior Death Valley base. His HQ was just ringed by flamethrowers and machine guns and things that chew warriors up very quickly. And after like 100 tries, I couldn't beat it with warriors. I tried and tried. 2 shield generators, at least 5 boosted ice. I don't recall exactly. It was nasty. And okay, I couldn't beat it with warriors, but I could beat it right away with tanks. Most people on the leaderboard are going to defend against tanks and against RCZM because you can use those with lower GBE. You can use those when you still have ice. You can't do that with warriors. So you don't see the stuff happening up here, but it's not that there's anything wrong with the warriors themselves, and making them super powerful isn't really going to encourage people to use them better, which is really what you need to do if you're going to beat this guy. Let's see what this guy looks like. I haven't even looked at any of these others, but they probably are all in the same position. Yep, with the 1 shield generator, because they don't just want to scrap a useful prototype. But 1 shield generator, like I said, pretty much any day of the week I can beat that. It's not just me, it's just, warriors are capable of beating that if you know what you're doing. So people should learn what they're doing. That would be great, and then they could beat that base too. But they're failing to beat that base as a matter of skill, not as a matter of warriors just being weak and needing a buff. And it's the same with these over here. People beat these. Sorry, Benny. People beat these. It's a matter of skill, and people take a lot of pride in having the skill to do that. This is a push team. We're very serious about what we do here, because it has taken so much effort and practice. If people put that kind of effort and practice into warriors, they would be capable of beating anyone, as I feel like I'm capable of beating nearly anyone. So yeah, I feel like that's a wrong-headed approach for Supercell to take, just to be like, here's a free warrior and a level upgrade as well, and just go Hulk smash everything down. Hulk smashing is boring. Like I said, 3 weeks without shield generators and just sent me out of my mind. I'm so glad that shields are back. It makes my life interesting again. Hulk smashing things is fine, whatever, it gets the job done. But there's more to warriors than that, and I feel like we're just writing off all of that extra practice and skill and saying, here you go. Here's like nuclear level warriors. Go ahead and if you just want to rip things apart, just rip things apart. That's not really my style. More of a thoughtful warrior user, I think. But anyway, that's enough of a rant for today. And that is Dr. T, no endless, no problem. Don't even have to be maxed. Don't even have to have fully loaded boats in order to be, not even close in this case. These guys need a lot of work. I've been bad on this account, trying to make up for that. But Dr. T, really without an issue. Warriors are plenty strong, but I feel like I've been through all that before. So anyway, I have not been trying to be a negative Nelly. Really haven't. I know I've given some people that impression. I still love warriors, don't get me wrong. I do have reservations about what's happening, and I feel like the inevitable result is going to have to be some kind of a nerf on warriors down the line, because they're just going to be way too strong. But that's just my opinion. Other people will have their own, and nobody likes mine anyway, so like, thumbs up, whatever. If you have ideas of your own, I've been having this conversation for a few days and don't mind having it a bit more, but by tomorrow, again, the update was supposed to be this morning, and it in theory could drop at any time. So by tomorrow, this might already be a done deal, and I'm not sure I'm 100% happy about it. Womp womp womp. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Take care.